And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is a brief update. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline this week. This is one update of many coming up, so I'm just going to briefly go through this. Quickly, they're talking about flash events first. We all kind of know how the flash events work. They're going to last for 1 or 2 hours. They're scheduled, so they're going to start on July 22nd. They are going to be tuned to your level. So if you are level 25, what you see in the flash events are going to be relative to your level instead of having to see events that you can't participate in because it's too high. For example, your tier 4 should be much easier than per se my tier 4 that I do. So that starts on July 22nd. There are 2 new Marquee events. They're called Indoor Escalation 1 and 2. One will be for Paploo and Logray will be for the second one. First one starts on July 20th. The second one actually starts on July 22nd. So as soon as one starts and then it ends, the next one will start up. And this is going to be where you can utilize Paploo and Logray characters. They're going to give them to you so you can go ahead and play with them and try out their features and see what they're all about. And you're going to earn enough shards to unlock them at 3 stars. I am sure they're going to go ahead and sell packs to get them up to 4 stars. But I will tell you, with these characters, the extra star is not necessary. So the pack isn't going to be worth it. To get a couple of extra pieces of gear for the low level gear and a couple of ability mats and an extra stars, nothing. They won't be free to play for approximately 3 months, so I would simply do them, unlock them, and have them in your lineup. And if you decide down the road that you wish to use them when they go free to play, gear them up now, and when they move in 3 months to free to play, you can get their remaining stars. And here's Logray. We're going to go ahead and go through his attacks and abilities really quick just to check him out. He's, of course, a light side Ewok. He is a support character, and I have to admit, I went through his abilities a little bit a second ago, and they're very layered, and he seems very powerful. I just did a video a couple of days ago. You can check it out on the Ewok rework on the existing Ewoks, and the one thing that I came away from that was the rework wasn't enough. That really, it just didn't seem like there was enough, and they really needed some overpowered characters to make them worthwhile. Check this guy out. So Mystical Strike, we're going to go ahead and look at all of the max. It's going to deal physical damage to a target enemy and gain tenacity up for 2 turns. Tenacity up works very well in this game, just like he does with Rex or Chirrut. So he's going to get that tenacity up for 2 turns. It says if an Ewok ally calls Logray to assist, and by the way, there's tons of assists happening in this game, they also gain tenacity up for 2 turns. So anytime that he is called to assist, he's going to throw tenacity up for 2 turns. So he is kind of the Rex for the Ewoks in giving them tenacity up. This is going to prevent all those negative status effects, just like Rex does and Chirrut does. Pretty awesome. I don't know how much this physical damage will be. I'm guessing not as much as we would like because it is the Ewoks. However, this particular ability to gain tenacity up and spread it as he's being called to assist is pretty awesome. Hypnotize is awesome. It's going to dispel all buffs and then remove 100% turn meter from the target enemy. So it's going to dispel the enemy's buffs, this move. So it's a dispelling move. And then it's going to also take away their turn and inflict daze on all enemies this turn. This attack cannot be evaded. So you're going to target one enemy. You're going to dispel their buff. For example, it's a tank. You're going to dispel the taunt. And then you're going to take away their turn and inflict daze. This is an anti-Baze if I ever seen it, because Baze just shoots back nonstop and Daze shuts that down. So this is pretty awesome. Also, if there was an Emperor Palpatine across the way, you could take away his offense up and daze him so he's not going to shoot back. So this is really, really cool. Daze is one of the best mechanics in the game, so to be able to apply that on all enemies is kind of like Darth Maul. So he takes the tank out and then inflicts Daze on the whole team. Pretty amazing. And it also says it can't be evaded, so this is going to be happening. This is awesome. Side note on Hypnotize is you'll be able to use it every 3 turns. That's pretty awesome. Alright, Prophetic Visions has a cooldown of 4, and all allies are going to gain 20% turn meter. So this is similar to like Sith Assassin for the Sith, or Stormtrooper Han for his teams, where you get one character that basically boosts everybody's turn meter. And this is all allies, not just Ewok. So you can do all allies gain that 20% turn meter. And then it says all allies gain foresight. So now it's almost like Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, he's got a blend of Qui-Gon Jinn, Zeta in him. He's got a bit of Darth Maul in him. He's got a, you know, with the days, he's got so many great features. This prophetic vision seems pretty amazing, but they'll gain foresight, advantage, and offense up for 2 turns. I don't know about you, but so far Logray seems to be the real deal. Shaman's Insight is his unique, and it says whenever an Ewok ally scores a crit, and this is why you're going to put critical chance and critical damage pretty much on all of them, because you're going to want this, he's going to gain 5% turn meter while Logray is active. Whenever an Ewok ally scores a critical hit, that ally will gain gain health up for 2 turns, and then all Ewok allies with health up will recover another 10% health. So let me put this into perspective again. So if you mod them all to do critical damage, every time they hit critical damage, he's going to get turn meter, speeding him up, and they're going to get health over time. And at the end of their turn, at the end of the turn, it says when all Ewok allies health, they end up recovering a total of 10% health on top of that. So they're going to gain health on top of health. This is like Chirrut when you get hit and you get the health over times and you get all those green bars. So the first thing I can say about Logray is, one, his kit is everything it needs to be to really bring significant value into the Ewoks. It's going to bring utility in a way that the Ewoks don't have yet. It's bringing a little bit of the healing from Chirrut. It's bringing an anti-baze, if you will. It's bringing an AoE daze like Darth Maul. It's bringing a foresight on all characters and a tenacity up on all characters, kind of like a Rex on the tenacity up, and kind of like a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta, which is pretty awesome. So super excited about this individual Logray, and I cannot wait to use him, which should be coming up very soon. All right, the second one that's currently in the game that we can take a look at is Paploo. Paploo, of course, is going to be the tank. That is one thing they need. The tank that they have now is Teebo, and Teebo is a non-taunting tank. He just is durable. That's the only part of the tank he really is. This is actually going to be a taunting tank, which is something that they needed. His Vigilant Strike, his basic, will deal physical damage, and it's going to dispel buffs on the target enemy. This is now the second Dispeller on the Ewok team, so that way the Ewoks can do their dirty work on whoever they want without getting caught up in the auto taunt world of Shore Trooper and Baze. So this is really good, dispelling all buffs on the target enemy. It also says Paploo gains defense up for 2 turns. This is just on his basic. It says if an Ewok ally calls him to assist, they'll also gain defense up for 2 turns. I think you see what's happening. Phoenix Squad shares all their buffs if the leader is present. In this, basically every time they do their basics, if they are called to assist, they're going to share their buffs. And we know they're going to be called to assist with multiple calls to assist that already exist and are coming. This is absolutely amazing, because every time he's called to assist, he'll get defense up and tenacity up now because of Logray's basic that will happen as well. I really like how they're going to stack all of these buffs by them simply participating in those. For Diversion, it's his first special. It has a cooldown of 3, just like Logray's first special. It'll deal physical damage to an enemy, inflict speed down, and then he gains his taunt for 2 turns. So it's going to slow them, hurt them, slow them down, and then he's going to taunt. So it's a pretty cool taunt, and the cooldown is 3, which is really nice, because with all of the dispelling that happens, if he loses his taunt, he can get it up pretty quickly again if he needs to. It's only a cooldown of 3. If this was a cooldown of 4 or 5, this would be very unusable. Luckily, they built it with a cooldown of 3, so very cool. All right, Galvanize is his second special, has a cooldown of 4, and it will dispel all debuffs on Paploo and target other ally. So this is kind of like Thrawn has, where you get to target another ally, and then you get to dispel from both of the Thrawn and the target. It says if the target other ally is an Ewok, and hopefully you're playing an Ewok team with this, they're all called to assist and gain 10% turn meter. So here's another call to assist that the Ewoks have. Pretty amazing. They're all going to get turn meter after that assist, and because they're all called to assist, they're all going to have tenacity up and defense up because of these two characters. For his unique, it is called Don't Hold Back, and it says whenever Paploo gains a status effect, this is a lot now, this is going to happen quite a bit, he's going to recover 5% health and protection. He's gaining health and protection. Both bars he's gaining back every time he gains a status effect. Whenever Paploo gains stealth, he will dispel stealth and gain taunt for 2 turns. So anytime that he gets stealth, he can convert that stealth instantly into a taunt. So that's pretty awesome. And it says Paploo has 25% speed whenever he does not have taunt active. So he'll speed himself up anytime he's not helping the team out with his taunt. If it gets dispelled, he's instantly 25 points of speed faster. That's a really, really cool buff. I'm really liking these abilities that they've added for Paploo and for Logray. What are your thoughts about these two characters, and what do you think Wicket is going to have that will bring this team to have the power that it needs? Now it has all of the utility that the Ewoks needed. They've got the tank, they've got the dispel, the tenacity, the daze. I mean, this is a fully rounded team. What is missing? My thoughts are they're missing damage. So hopefully Wicket is going to be that missing piece of damage that the team is going to need. Again, just like I kind of mentioned a second ago, level banded events, what it means is that there's going to be a new functionality for the Marquee events as well as flash events, where if you're a level 25, the 4 missions you see are now going to be missions that you can participate in. Likewise, the players at a level cap will have 4 to 5 missions that are tuned appropriately for them. I like this because now whatever you see, the tiers are more appropriate for where you are at in the game. They brought mod packs back. However, this is the 3rd time, and this is a changed mod pack. This is not the original mod pack that they released, which was amazing, and then this is not the mod pack that they released last time, which was less than amazing. This is brand new. It is going to guarantee, let's say you're buying a speed mod pack, you're going to get an entire set of speed, one for every slot, okay? Plus, you're going to get another one, a 5th one, that's going to be a bonus tier A gold. They're guaranteeing at least 1 gold 4 or 5 dot mod out of here. So you're going to get a total of 4 to 5 in each pack, because the highest you need is really 4. Like for speed, you need 4, offense, you need 4, things like that. The rest of them, you only need 2, but they're going to give you 4 or 5, with one of those being a gold mod for sure. And so I don't know what I think about these mod packs yet. People are going to have to buy a couple of them and see what's dropping to see if it's really worthwhile. But the fact that they're guaranteeing a full set is nice, just because you know you're going to get a full set at 4 or 5 dot. And if you're really wanting to guarantee above average mods, this will probably do it. The only thing that it may not guarantee, of course, is your speed secondaries. I have yet to see what the drop rate for speed secondaries will be, because I have not seen any of these packs opened. Of course, they're doing them for all of the mod sets, from defense, health, tenacity, potency, crits, damage and chance, and the offense and speed. If you were going to take a risk and do one of these, it would be my suggestion to try the speed set, or like a critical damage or critical chance set if you were going to do this. But at 1,000 crystals, it is probably in your best interest to use those crystals for refreshes in your mod battles instead. That would be 10 refreshes you could do over the next 3 or 4 days. That would get you an exorbitant amount more of speed mods or crit damage mods in that case. Now, if you need some mods, let's say you need some crit damage mods and you can't farm them yet, and you happen to have saved 1,000, you could do this. But again, I just don't feel like the value's there yet until I open a few and see whether it's worth it or not. And I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to take the chance on these mod sets. They are shuffling the Shard Shop already. Gar Saxon, Imperial Super Commando, and their ship are now coming into the shard shop, and they're pulling the squadron, the Phoenix Squad ships out, which kind of stinks. I was getting both of the Phoenix Squad ships out of the shard shop, and it's only been in there for a short period of time, and now they've already been removed. They threw all of those guys in the shard shop that I mentioned, Garsaxon, the Commando, and their fighter. But they're also going to put them in farmable locations. They're putting the Starfighter in the fleet store. And of course, that level 8 Cantina had a bunch of empty nodes. They're filling up fast. They have Garsaxon and his Commando going into Cantina D and E in level 8. Additionally, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, this is the good Ahsoka, is now available in Chromium packs, which means she's going to have a higher than normal drop rate in Chromium. So if you're looking at getting her, the Chromium packs are definitely going to be a place to get her dropped more than average. And then she's also going to be in the shipments, those standard shipments where you pay to get 4 for 320 crystals or 8 for 640 crystals. She'll be in there. It'll take a refresh. So if you don't see her in there now, wait till the store naturally refreshes and she will be in there. As far as assault battles, they've reworked the rewards. Pretty exciting now. They're going to give you ship ability materials, which is basically credits for ships, right? Ship training droids, which is pretty cool. And then 4 shards of a non-pilot Empire character and 5 shards of a pilot Empire character paired with 4 of their blueprints. So you're going to get, as a reward, some Empire that don't have ships, and then some Empire that do have ships with their ship shards in addition. So that's pretty cool. It does say there's going to be 4 blueprints of their ship, and it says in cases where there's multiple pilots, such as the TIE Reaper, only 1 pilot will be given. You're only going to get shards for 1 of the 2 pilots, but the non-primary pilot, meaning both pilots, are possible rewards in the general character pool as far as what could potentially drop. As this overhaul, as a part of it, the Darth Vader, TIE Advanced, Garsaxon, Imperial Super Commando, and the Gauntlet Starfighter, as well as the TIE Reaper, have now been added to the rewards table for this event. So that's pretty cool. And then an environmental update. This is very cool for all the different environments, from Chopper's base, the Imperial Throne Room on the Death Star, which was from a previous Emperor event, Geonosis Catacombs, Jeddah, the occupied city, Camino, Kashyyyk, Lothal, Malachor, Moraband, Scarif Beach, Scarif Citadel, Concord, Dawn. All these different places are now inside. They were already in on certain events. They are now going to be utilized in parts in Galactic War as well as Arena. So you're going to see these more often, which is pretty exciting for them to change up the backgrounds a little bit. And then for bugs, of course, since they're doing a faction pass on the Ewoks, they're still trying to work out all the kinks on the Ewoks. Ewok Elder had a couple, which was the Omega upgrade. Guiding Strike is now going to grant turn meter to non-Ewok allies when he is the only Ewok present. And also his tribal healer is now going to animate correctly. Also, General Kenobi, when he did the lead the charge, he just kind of smacked the middle of your opponent and then everybody would attack the right person. Now he's actually going to hit the targeted individual first and then everybody will follow. So that's bug's going to be fixed. And then Tebow started working like Jyn Erso was working, and so I thought it was going to be working as intended since they did this for Jyn. And that's where he takes his stealth takedown. It takes away turn meter after dealing damage, and so they made it work correctly where he'll deal his damage and then take away turn meter. So my ask to them would be that they do the same thing with Jyn Erso, that they have Jyn Erso deal her damage and potential stun. Obviously, she's not going to stun the Rancor, but do that move and then remove turn meter, because she's currently working the way that Tebow quote-unquote bugged was working. And since they fixed Tebow, I'd like to see them go back and fix Jyn Erso. As far as the environment, there was one environment they had to fix, which was the Empire hallway, you know, where the little droid would drive around. It's all black. It wasn't showing reflections for the characters, and it's real glassy in there, and so they fixed that environment. And then, of course, what's ahead? Wicket is going to round out this Ewok invasion. We know about a couple of the events. He's going to make it onto the terrain as well of battle. they're going to create another event for him. My guess is that you're going to be able to unlock him using some of your newly acquired Ewoks. I'm not sure. We'll find out later. There's a lot of information coming down the pipeline, and I'll have some more update videos to keep you in the loop. And it says there's no rest for our warriors while larger threats roam the forest. What is that about? Leave your ideas in the comments down below. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.